Returning from 1989, we had the release of the Air Jordan 4 White Cement in May 2025. In this video, I'm going to go over everything you need to know about the shoes, including a release date and where to buy. Also, I will do an unboxing as well as some upcoming releases. We're going to talk about the history, and I'm going to do a comparison with the 2012 and the 2016 release. What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, and in this video, I'm going to go over the 2025 Air Jordan 4 White Cement. Now, like my previous reviews, what I'm going to do is an unboxing. I'm going to run down history, talk about the release date, where to buy, all the good stuff you need to know about obtaining this shoe. As well, towards the end, I'll talk about craftsmanship and some other stuff. Now, the most important part, if you don't know, is the release date. This pair is set to drop on May 24th, and the good news is they will be available in full family sizing. So, in adult sizing, the retail price will be $225. Grade school will cost $160. Preschool is priced at $100, and toddler sizes will cost $85. Now, this is the biggest release of the month, in my opinion, especially from Jordan brand, maybe from all the brands. It's really looking like a hyped up shoe. So what I will say right at the beginning is these won't be super easy to obtain, although they won't be super difficult as well, like a collab that's limited and things like that. But let's jump into things. For me, easily the #1 drop in May, and I'm sure a lot of you as well. But before we actually open this box up, I wanted to actually show you the box, but you see the size label right there, size 10, OG box. Also, we're going to do a little more than just these as far as the unboxing goes, but you can see the cement print on the tissue paper, and here they are. Wow. Now, I did unbox these in a different video, so this isn't my first time looking at them, but I am impressed. The only thing that's a little bit of a drawback, and I did mention this before, is the craftsmanship. It's going to be all over the place, and again, I'll talk about that more later on in the video. But these, other than that, like, I really don't have any other complaints. These look really good. See a little peak right there. Insoles. Hopefully you can see that. If not, don't worry, I'll pull them out later. One thing I like is like that paint splatter detailing on the Nike Air, which is like the OG. So that is the first one. We are going to be doing comparisons, and I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to show you some upcoming shoes that are going to drop this month and next month. So here is the other one. Looking good, just like the other, as most of you probably expected. These are just incredible, but yeah, you can see the glue stain right there. I wonder if that'll come off if I pick at it enough. And then on the midsole, I hope that picks up. If not, then I'll have to do it in some different lighting, but some glue right back there. Yeah, it's a little bit of a downfall. It's just all the glue stains, but the overall look, the shape, the color blocking, such an incredible shoe. So this will be the 2025, and then I'm going to unbox some other stuff. So I did find some stuff. That's why this video is going out late, because I thought I had some other shoes, but unfortunately I didn't. But one second. I'm sure a lot of you own this pair. This is the 2016, and I showed the wrong side. Here's the box label. One second. So suggested retail is $220. So that's $5 more than this one. The original receipt, I got them from Nike. Congrats on being the owner. Air Jordan 4 Retro. Had to make sure there was no my personal information on here. Tissue paper is different. But really, these are really nice. The only difference really with this shoe is the shape is going to be different. But again, we're going to break it down. And the Nike Air doesn't have that speckled, like, splatter detail on it. But nice and clean. I believe everything else is on point. They did come with these like little, like, they're not shoe horns, but you put them in there to stuff them. Keep it nice and tight in the middle. But yeah, these are dope. 2016, really like this shoe. I was so happy when they returned with the Nike Air. I know a lot of you were happy as well. Also, this is a little bit different too. This is like a hard plastic versus like it's a really thin plastic, but on the new one. But more like the OG. I don't mind that. A little bit of yellowing. Yes, these are dead stock. I don't own a double up of this one, but the other shoe that I'm going to show, I do own a double up of that. And we're going to get to that one next. But 1 second. Okay, now we're going to go 4 years prior. And this is the 2012 release. You can see the box label is different. It's red. Also, no, they all have holes in it. But yeah, the box label is red on it. Black tissue paper. Now on this pair, you could see there's quite a bit of a difference, like the shape for one, but for two, the cement gray is darker. Another difference, Jumpman on the heel. Don't get me wrong, these are really dope in my opinion. It's just that we all really want a Nike Air. But yeah, I do own a double up of these, so this is the dead stock. You can see it's a little, actually, come on, it's a little foggy right there in the Air unit. These are dope though. 2012. So far, just briefly looking at all three, my favorite's going to be the new one. And the hard plastic. Hang tag. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the darker elephant, or not, I'm sorry, the darker gray used on the cement print. But for what it was at the time, you know, I didn't really, you know, mind it. I mean, I minded it, but like I still bought it. Obviously, I bought 2 pairs because I like the shoes so much. But now that we're past the unboxing of the white cement 4s, I wanted to show you some shoes that are dropping later this month, as well as in June. 1 pair, but 1 second. Yes, I know this is a Jordan video, but I am going to show off some Kobe's. Yes, I was able to pick up some Kobe's. This shoe I'm going to do a short on because I'm not going to have enough time. They drop, I believe, on the 21st or the 22nd. But, you know, aside from that, I'm going to do the short, and I'm going to do this unboxing real quick. But yes, the What the Nines. These are nice. I'm not going to lie. I own a pair, not this particular colorway. It's just, it's literally like a boot. So yeah, I think it's dope, and I know people like it, but for me, like, I can't be walking around in them. I tried on my pair. I felt really off. I felt funny to me. But to each his own. If this is what you like, that's dope. That's why I'm showing them. Now, they're a little bit cheaper than the original. I believe the original was $280, $275, somewhere around there. These are going to be $240. So that's really surprising with that. It's a nice shoe though. Don't get me wrong. These will sell out. It's a Kobe. It's just that not my style. Just the overall shape of the shoe. It's literally like a boxing. Now, if you play, then that's another thing. But let's move on to the next shoe. Now, this pair I do believe I'm going to do a review on. I really like this shoe. You guys might know what it is just by the box label. But fortunately, I was lucky enough to pick these up with a lot of time. Now, I believe these drop on the 30th or the 31st. I believe the 30th, though. The Dodgers pair. This is just such a nice shoe. Dodgers are my favorite second team, first being Oakland A's. No offense to anybody, but I have a strong dislike for the Giants. So I know there's like a, always been like a battle, a rivalry or whatever you want to call it. So that's why I like these shoes. And I like, I played baseball a lot growing up, more so basketball, bigger fan. So this is a shoe I want to pick up. I just don't know if I'll be able to. That's the issue, because these, I'm hearing, are going to be on the limited side. Aside from that, it's a Kobe. You guys already know what it is. It's a hard to obtain shoe. But these are nice. These are definitely nice. Now, I'm going to unbox a couple Jordans. One of them I do plan on doing a review of. One I'm just going to do a short video because, honestly, I don't think too many people care about one of the shoes. But We'll see. Now, this is the pair I don't think too many people are going to care about. Maybe a few, but I'm not going to be doing a review on these. Some people might do reviews. It's just not me, because I know people aren't going to care that much about them. But I did want to do a short and, of course, do the unboxing here. Show you guys some of the upcoming stuff coming out. You know, I should probably start doing this as its own segment, because sometimes I'm getting like 3 or 4 shoes at a time of stuff coming out. And, you know, I see some other YouTubers do that just to show and talk about it briefly. I could do that. But this is a women's release. I believe the release date on these is June 6th, just off the top of my head. It's not a bad shoe. Not my style. I mean, I can't say not my style, but I'm not really a fan of the green hue Igloo. These are the Jordan 11 Low Igloos. But if you like them, that's dope. But it's just not for me, not for me. Now, the next shoe I'm going to show. That's a pair I'm planning on doing a review of. It's a shoe that I want to pick up. Some of you might as well. But let me go grab those. All right, so I had quite a few unboxings just in this segment. So I apologize if, you know, you don't like the unboxings. But some people do. And you guys might know what this is. And this is, in hand, a nice shoe. Now, I like about this, it's like not the OG, but the mid-2000s, early 2000s box, the lined box. But instead of being silver and gray, it's kind of all blacked out. You got Flight on the inside of the box. Elephant print on the tissue paper. Yes, the Rare Air Jordan 3. Now, at first, I wasn't a big fan of the suede that was replaced the elephant print, but it's not bad. It works on this shoe. Suede is used on the tongue. Due to suede characteristics, please be aware there is potential color contamination to the upper and bottom unit. I cannot read tonight. It's Saturday night. I'm recording this. What is this? Anything behind? Nope. Okay, so that's new. I haven't noticed this in the past, but okay, so we have the Nike Air on this one. The leather on these are pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. I like these. And these are going to be a GR, available in full family sizing. I got these around my size. I don't know the size. I forgot what it was, but here's the other pair. Now, the reason I want to show you this, the backward, get that in frame better, Nike Air. You know, on the Rare Air series, there's something unique, something different about each shoe. This one would be the backwards Nike Air. I don't know the reason why, but these I do plan on doing a review on, because it seems like a lot of people are excited about it. So probably after I record this review, I'll be working on this next, because it's going to be a busy week. This will go live after my news video, because I'm dropping a news video Monday, so that would have been yesterday. I'm recording this on Saturday. I don't know what time it is, like 10 o'clock. I don't think that's important, but yeah, let's move on to the shoe of the hour, though, the Air Jordan 4 White Cement. My favorite part about these videos is talking about the history, and that's what we're about to do. So, as most of you know, this is an OG colorway that first dropped in 1989. The shoes came with Nike Air. They also released the black cement, now known as the Bread Air Jordan 4, the military blue Air Jordan 4, and the Fire Red. Fast forward to 1999, and we would see a first retro of the shoes. Unfortunately, today, you can't wear those unless you do a sole swap. Same situation as the OG pair. Now, in 2012, we would see another release of the White Cement Air Jordan 4. Now, this pair was a bit different. The gray used was darker, and it came with a Jumpman on the heel instead of Nike Air. The same with the insoles that also featured a Jumpman. And at that time, people, of course, were upset. They want Nike Air, but with time, people got over it. They sold out. I even wound up picking up 2 pairs, even though I was a little bit upset at first. And then the last time we saw the shoes drop until the 2025 release, of course, was in 2016. Now, with this pair, a lot of people were happy because it did come with Nike Air branding. The shape wasn't great, but at the time, people were happy overall that we were getting the shoes with Nike Air branding. So as you saw with the unboxing, I did an unboxing of the 2012 and the 2016. So shortly I will do a comparison with those. But in my opinion, one of the biggest moments of the shoe appeared on the movie screen. In the movie Do the Right Thing, the character Bugging Out wore the Air Jordan 4 white cement. There was a scene where Bugging Out bumped into somebody who was pushing his bike and his pair of Jordan 4 white cements got scuffed. An argument ensued, and then there was another scene where he had his foot up on a fire hydrant and he was cleaning it with a toothbrush. Okay, so we're going to do a close-up 360 viewing of this beautiful pair. And as you can see, the upper features white leather. But other than that, we do have cement print, which lands on the winged eye stays and most of the midsole. Now you can see the air unit back there. We got it surrounded in white, and the lower part of the midsole is done in black. The winged eyelets, the tips of them, are done in black as well. And then let me bring you to this toe real quick. You can see we got that smooth leather going on. Now I did notice there is some peaks on the toe. And then let's bring you to the medial. We'll get to the actual tongue in a moment. But you can see the craftsmanship down in there. Sorry, I know the camera kind of focuses weird. But most of the midsole, well, the top part of the midsole features cement print. We also have it on the winged eyelets. The mesh netting is done in white. And then, of course, all white on the base. Now, typically I use the other shoe to do the 360 viewing, but I wanted to do a better look or a close-up look without the Nike Air hang tag. But I'll give you a close-up of that as well in a moment. Now, what I really like about the shoe, and it's a small detail, it lands on the heel. So we could see the Nike Air. Hopefully, let's see the angle. You could see kind of like that splatter detailing. So back in '89, the OG pairs feature that. And I believe the 1999 release did as well. I never owned the 1999, nor have I owned the '89 pair, but I've seen images of the '89, and that's what I remember. But let's bring you to the tongue now, because I went the opposite way. But, man, this is beautiful in my opinion. We got mesh down the tongue. You got your white laces. And then the flight on the actual tongue, we got red. The flight reads in black. And then on the inside of the tongue, let's see the best way to do this. We have Air Jordan flipped upside down. So the liner itself, it's like that fuzzy material all done in white. And I did pull out the insole, so let me show you that real quick. Best way to legit check. Nike Air on the insoles in red. Got a black across it. And this is the opposite side. Best way to legit check. The factories always skip out on the insoles. So, the sole, another looks so good in my opinion. We have a mixture of all the colors, black, red, and gray. Nike Air is done in red. Just a great shoe. I'm really hyped about this shoe. Again, the only drawback in my opinion would be that the craftsmanship isn't that great. So, they also come with a very thin plastic Nike Air hang tag in orange, attached by a small string. Now these aren't mine yet. Eventually they will be. So then I can remove those. But until then, I can't. So we're going to do a 360 viewing real quick. Go once more over. And then from there, we're going to compare them. We're going to compare them, I guess, first with the 2012. We'll do that first. And then the 2016. If you're, on the fence buying these because of those two, I'll talk about the differences and things like that. And then we'll get to the outro, talk about availability, all the good stuff. First up, we're going to compare with the 2012 release. Now, unfortunately, I had to re-record from this point forward. I recorded everything over the weekend, and a couple days ago when I went to edit the video, none of the audio picked up. Unfortunately, my mic died. It doesn't let me know that it died. There's no beep, that it's low battery, or anything like that. So everything got delayed. So I apologize on getting this a little bit out to you guys later than anticipated. But the 2012 versus the 2025, there are quite a few differences between the two. Now, right off the bat, the biggest difference is the gray used on the midsole and the winged eyelets. Well, the gray used throughout. So the issue, or maybe you like the look, the gray is a lot darker on the 2012 versus the 2025, as you can see here. As well, the cement print, it's more spread out on the 2012. There's a lot more cement print used on the 2025 pair. Okay, so another difference on the 2012 versus the 2025 is the mesh netting on the panels in the tongue. On the 2012 release, it's a lot smaller. Hopefully you could see that. I'm sure you can. Now, let me show you the 2025. It's bigger. Not a huge difference, but there is a difference, as you could see. All right. Another thing that I noticed is the eyelets down at the bottom. The 2012, as you can see, just kind of comes up, straight up, kind of at an angle. This one has like these little indents, or I'm not sure what to call them, at the bottom. Again, it's not a huge difference, just something I picked up and noticed. Also, in my opinion, the overall shape on the 2012 is more sleek in comparison to the 2025. The 2025 is a little bit bulkier. It might be hard to tell, but just the overall shape is more bulky, and I like that look. It's closer to the OG in my opinion. Also, the overlay that wraps the toe, it's a little higher on the 2025 versus the 2012. Small differences, but they add up. Also on the outsole coming up to the toe, you can see the gray used is darker as well. Another thing, which is another big difference in my opinion, I'm sure yours as well, is we have the Jumpman on the heel of the 2012 versus Nike Air on the 2025 release. You could also see the area of leather used. It's a lot higher on the 2025 versus the 2012. And again, it's slightly bigger on the heel, just not as sleek as the 2012 release. And of course, the cement print, the coloring, and the whole print itself is very different. Now, as for the medial side, it's pretty much the same as the lateral. You're going to have your smaller mesh netting. Let me see if this will work. Hopefully that'll work. Nope, it won't work. And the cement print, of course, is different. Around the heel, or I'm sorry, around the toe, right here, you can see it sits a little bit higher on the 2025 versus the 2012. Now, bringing you to the tongue, this is going to be a little difficult to show, but the tongue is wider on the 2025 versus the 2012. That could also be due to how they're factory laced, but overall it does look a bit higher. I'm sorry, a bit wider. The tongue definitely sits higher on the 2012. Another thing that you may or may not notice is something I really like. So the 2025, you could see the liner on the inside of the tongue. It's kind of tucked away. It's hard to see from the front. This pair, you can definitely, or the 2012, you can definitely see it in the front area coming up. You can also see it very well on the side, comparing it to the 2025 pair. See how it's like tucked away? Now, like I showed earlier, I did pull out the insoles. Nike Air, all black. Now, I can't pull out the insole on this pair. I tried, and it's really locked down, and I don't want to rip the insoles, but it's a Jumpman done in red. Hopefully that picks up. If it doesn't, I apologize. I promise you it's there. Now, let's bring you to the outsole, which obviously has some differences as well. Let me set this up for you guys. I might start having to clip this because this takes too long to have it more clean. But we have the Jumpman versus the Nike Air. The black and red seems to be pretty much on point. The gray is obviously a lot darker on the 2012, but in the middle area, this is more of like an off-white shade versus a true white, in my opinion, on the 2012. So overall, in my opinion, if you own the 2012, I mean, it's a dope shoe, don't get me wrong, obviously I own it, but I would definitely pick up the 2025 release. I think it's closer to the OG. It looks good in my opinion, looks really good. And this is just a nice shoe, just overall nice shoe. And if you do own the 2016, which I'll give my opinion on that as well, and you want to pick these up, I totally get it, but I also get if you don't want to. A couple things I noticed right after I was done recording. First up, the 2012 comes with a hang tag that's a thick plastic, as you could see, and it has the Jumpman with air. Now, the 2025 release, very thin, just like the OG with Nike Air. Another thing that you won't be able to pick up, but you're gonna have to take my word for it, is the padding in the ankle. So it's a lot thinner on the 2012 versus the 2025. A lot more padding. I'm sure that will help with comfort. Now, what I think is the more important comparison is the 2025 versus the 2016. And the reason for that is I'm sure a lot of you own the 2016. Plus, this is closer to what we're getting. However, there are differences, quite a few as well. Some of them may not be huge differences, but I wanted to go over them and give my opinion about it after. So, once again, the mesh netting is smaller on the 2016 versus the 2025. And the overall thickness of the mesh netting is obviously thicker on the 2025 versus the 2016. The eyelets are pretty much the same down at the bottom, but what you're going to notice is the leather used. So the leather is, I guess the best way to say it is like a bright white versus kind of just like a off-white almost. I feel like the white used on the 2016 is brighter. Hopefully that picks up. It might be hard to. I'm going to try to get you in on some different angles, but you could see there's more of a shine on this leather too. And honestly, it's decent leather. It's not horrible. I would say the quality is better on the 2026 pair. Another thing is the cement print. So the cement print is actually lighter, the gray used on the 2016 pair versus the 2025. And the cement print used isn't as thick on the 2016 versus the 2025. It's more dense. Another thing that we have you right here, you could see that the inside of the tongue, the black, on the liner part, it comes out a little bit. Not as bad as the 2012, but it does come out. You can see it versus the 2025. It's tucked away. Again, that's something I do like about that shoe, is that it's tucked away. It looks really good in my opinion. Now, another thing that is different, we got the Nike Air. So both do have Nike Air branding. You could see there is a color difference, as some of you expected. Now, on the heel of the 2016 pair, the cement print used does look a lot more dense, but for the most part, it's more scattered compared to the 2025. Now, these are both size 10. You could see the bulkiness, the difference. The 2025 pair is bulkier than the 2016, in my opinion. As well, the Nike Air branding. So, let's get you in on a closer look. Hopefully you can see that. It's smooth, right? Done in all black. However, the 2025, hopefully this picks up. You could see paint splatter. I know I showed this before, and this reflects the 1989 pair. In the process of making the 89 pair, they featured paint splatter, so that's why they recreated that on the new pair. So the medial side is pretty much like the same as the lateral. You know, you're gonna have your different colors used, but we'll show it just because, let me see. No, that's not a good look. Let's do it like this. There we go. Maybe you're just curious, but hopefully this shows the difference in white used, the coloring as well, just a different angle. Also the tongue, you can see it's kind of laid back more in comparison to the 2016. It sits up higher than the 2025. I like the laid back look personally. Now we're gonna move to the tongue. There's not too many differences with the tongue, but you know, there's a few small ones. So in my opinion, hopefully this, you can see this well, but the 2025, the tongue bows out more in comparison to the 2016. Now that could also be due to it being factory laced. I mean, both of them are, but you can see these are more tight compared to the 2025. As well, what might be really hard to pick up, the shade of red is slightly different on the 2016. It's a little bit, and I mean a little bit lighter. Now, another thing that I noticed, hopefully we can do this right, the Flight logo, the actual text is a little more bold. Hopefully that picks up on the 2025 release versus the 2016. And that's pretty much what I spotted about the tongue. So if you see something that I missed out, please let me know. But let's get to the outsole. There is a little bit of a difference here. Not as big of a difference as the 2012, but we do have some differences. So obviously the gray used is a little bit lighter on the 2016. The red is slightly lighter as well. Not much. Hopefully that picks up, but the same situation right in the middle of the midsole. The white used is more of a bright white. This is more like a cream and off-white shade. Kind of gives it an age type feel. The black doesn't look as vibrant, but I think that's due to age. So something I did notice too, and this is so small, I was just analyzing it, but I'm probably gonna have to show it one by one because of the area, but you can see the pattern used on the midsole. They feature a different pattern. So that is the 2016. Here is the 2025. So in my opinion, the pattern stands out a little bit more on the 2025 versus the 2016. But overall, I mean, that's pretty much it. I might be missing something here or there. You can see a toe shot. It obviously comes up higher, the overlay on the 2025. But if I missed anything, please let me know down below. I try to be very thorough on these, but, sometimes you do miss stuff. Now, in my opinion, if you own the 2016 pair and you're tight on money or something, then there's really no need to get the 2025. But if you're like a purist and you want closest to OG, then yeah, definitely pick up the 2025 pair because it is closer. But both are dope, again, in my opinion. I think if we're going to go in order, again, in my opinion, it'd be the 2025. Then it would be the 2016 and then 2012. Also, I pulled out the insoles. First up, we have the 2016 pair, and you can see it also comes in black. The Nike Air done in red. The Nike Air is much larger on the 2016 versus the 2000. Let me see if I can set this up right. 25 pair. So you can see the difference in size. Definitely different. And just the material used is different as well. Probably won't pick up, but this is rough. Like it's like a rough material. And the 2025, it's very smooth. So little differences here and there. I don't know if anybody will care or notice, but I wanted to point it out. Okay, once again, I forgot to mention these things, and I noticed a couple things before putting them away. You can see the hang tag right here. It's a thick plastic with the Jumpman. It says Air. This is the 2016 release, so it's just like the 2012. And then we have the 2025. It's very thin, just like the OG with Nike Air. Now, as for the padding in the tongue as well, it's a lot thinner on the 2016 release versus the 2025. I don't even know if that'll pick up, but it does look thinner. I just don't know if it'll pick up right. But yeah, just wanted to point that out as well. All right, so that was your overview on the Air Jordan 4 White Cement. Now, this pair will drop on May 24th. The retail price in men's sizing is $225. Grade school will cost $160. Preschool is priced at $100, and toddler sizes will cost $85. Now, as for where you can buy these shoes, they're going to be available pretty much everywhere that has a Jordan brand account, of course. So that will include the Sneakers app. I'm sure everybody knows that. Finish Line, Foot Locker, JD Sports, Chic Shoes, Shoe Palace. All the chain stores will have them. As well, you can expect boutiques. They'll have them as well. Now, this pair is a GR. So there's going to be a good amount of pairs available. But what I've noticed in the past, Jordan Brand likes to release these type of sneakers in waves. So although it's a GR, retailers will drop a certain amount of pairs, making it look like they're limited. And then later on, they'll do a restock. Those will sell out. But what's funny is that this shoe really doesn't need the hype. There's already enough hype for them. They could drop all of them at once and then they're going to sell. Maybe they'll hang around a little bit longer than usual if they drop their entire stock. But again, it just drives the hype up. So anytime they re-release them or restock, they sell out again. But like I mentioned, this isn't really a shoe that needs to have that. It's a classic. A lot of people want them. I do believe they're going to sell out. There's no way they're going to go on sale. You might have a better chance at getting in store versus online, but it depends too. I know some of you also received early access, and that's dope. But if you haven't picked them up yet, obviously by now I hope you guys entered the raffles. And my suggestion would be to wake up early on Saturday. Hit the websites. If you miss out, then you can go in store later in the day. Hopefully they have some pairs. Definitely hold off on paying resale because yes, these will restock. But two, right after the release, that's when the resale price is the highest. You should always wait a month or two to buy something on the resale market because the hype dies down. People who really wanted them already paid top dollar for them. So then you have other people, just trying to get the shoes off, so they're lowering their price. So definitely be patient if you don't get on release date, but more so because there's going to be a restock coming. Now, as for the craftsmanship, some pairs are better than others. Since it is a GR, they mass produce them, so it's not great. The glue stains do stand out a bit. There are chips here and there. Like I always say, it would be best to pick them up in store, but for this type of release, I don't know if a lot of people will have that option, but I definitely would check your pair out before leaving the store. And if you buy online, check them out right away, because some pairs are definitely going to be worse than others. This one isn't bad. I like to nitpick. I like a clean pair, so I'll probably get another size 10 because the glue stains, it's like a yellowish dark brown hue almost. So for me, looking at it, it kind of stands out. But overall, I think Jordan Brand did a great job on them. Are they perfect? No, but I kind of gave up on getting a 1-to-1 retro of the 1989 release. As long as it's close, I'm okay with it. And this is the closest we've seen, in my opinion. But let me know your thoughts on the Air Jordan 4 White Cement. Do you plan on picking them up? Have you already bought them? And if so, how are you liking them? So this is Brian from Sneaker Files. I appreciate everybody who watched this video. If you have any questions, make sure to leave those down below. Also, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.